Hey y'all, if y'all don't know who I am, I go by Wafu, or you can call me Ayana. And today I want to talk about spirituality and the financial struggles, homelessness, things of that nature. So currently I am on my spiritual journey and I am dealing with homelessness. And, anytime that we're going through some type of financial hardship, we all know that that's the 3D world, the matrix, that wants to keep us in a low vibrational state or a lower frequency to keep us compliant with their rules. And fuck that. Like, we are the creators of our own life. We choose how we want to live, right? And people always associate lack with spirituality, and I don't like that, because that's not true. Like, it's really all a mindset thing. Like, yeah, if you're a chosen one, or you're on your spiritual journey, or whatever you're dealing with in life, yeah, you're gonna have a lot more obstacles, because there's people here trying to stop you from completing your mission and from sharing your story. And as somebody who has found comfort in isolation due to the crazy shit in the world, that's also safety. Sometimes you have to just rip the bandage off and just do the thing. And that's, I'm doing the thing. So if I'm kind of all over the place, sorry. But anyway, so right now I was dealing with trying to hold on to the house that I was living in earlier this year. And at some point I knew, even earlier on in the journey, I'm like, I'm not going to be here for much longer. Like, now, granted, did I think I was going to be here? Nah, I didn't think this was going to happen. But, it is what it is. So I just wanted to talk about it, because I feel like once you hit rock bottom, first of all, when you hit rock bottom, there's no other direction to go but up. It cannot get any worse than that, unless you allow it. But, for the most part, you could only go up. It's just about figuring out what to do next. And we typically focus on what's working for other people instead of asking ourselves, what is working for me? And what is not working for me? And why is it not working? What thoughts am I producing? What feelings am I having that is making this experience so miserable? So after I left my house, I was staying with my family, and I said I was only going to be there for 2 weeks because, manifestation isn't a whole nother thing. But I thought I was going to be in my new house, and it was taking a little longer than I expected. So I'm like, okay. And learning to be still and spiritual, bro, especially if you got ADHD like me, or just in general, like, we overthink everything. Like, we're just like, what's this? What's that? Like, oh God, like, So learning to be still and learning to be present in the moment, that's what real life is. Like, we rob ourselves every day by worrying about the future, the past. Supposed to live in the moment, because at any given time, your life can change. Miracles happen every day. Every day. So, anyway, with that being said, right? My family, they don't understand this shit. And I can't talk to them about this, because they're going to reject it, or they're going to talk in 3D terms. Like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, I'm doing what spirit is directing me to do. And I always knew that my journey was going to be a testimony. I just thought that I was going to be sharing the story when I was good. But that's not how life works. You got to do the thing. You gotta do the thing in the moment. So that is exactly what I'm doing. So I decided to leave, because the people around me, not just because they don't understand me, I don't care for them to understand me or my journey, but, You got to choose your peace over everything. If there's people who don't understand you, or people who are projecting on you, you got to cut them off. Cut them off. And it's not to say that they can't exist in your life, but it has to be on your terms. Like, you're not here to live for anybody else but you. Like, we get so caught up in what other people are doing and wanting to be giving advice and want to have our 2 cents and everything, but what works for somebody else and what works for you, those are two different things. Sometimes there are things that people share that may work out for you in your life and may help you, and there's some other shit that is just like, oh no, I can't, that's not working for me at all. It's just about finding what works for you. So I decided to leave because I was just so tired of the constant projection. It's like, yeah, I'm in this space, and I can't say I'm the only one who can get myself out of it. Like, yes, that is true. But another problem with spirituality and, the world is that people lost their way from love and compassion. Like, love is the second highest frequency next to authenticity, which we know a lot of people don't even know who the fuck they are, because everybody's pretending to be something that they're not for the sake of views, clout, status, importance, relevance in this world. Your relevance, importance in this world, your legacy is contingent upon you being you, not somebody else. So it's just like, yes, I have to be the one to change it, but at the same time, we don't do anything by ourselves either. Like, everything is about somebody else being involved in it. It's all about helping other people. You can't get a job without the person processing your application or the person who started the business. You can't just go to the car and go to the car dealership and buy a car and say, oh yeah, I got it on my own. Well, you didn't create the car. You didn't model the car. The bank had to approve your application. There's a whole bunch of other factors. So it's like, I got to the point where it's just like, I'm tired of being the one who is the savior, the people pleaser, the therapist, and then when I'm in times of need, there's no help, just projection. So sometimes you have to make drastic changes to help yourself. So I decided, you know what? My son's gonna stay with his dad. I'll take him back and forth to school, and I'm gonna live in my car until I figure it out. And I'm here to tell you that being in this car is starting to get to me. I'm not gonna lie, but it's life. Everything is not glitter and rainbows, but I'm here to tell you, being in this car and sitting with myself every day, I already got to a point where I'm I'm comfortable being around myself. I don't feel like I don't have the codependency of somebody else and, having to have somebody around. Like, I do want to be around genuine people, but I don't need to, I don't depend on that to exist. So it's not even about being by myself, but I was able to look at this situation so much different, and our mind is so powerful, and that's really what creates our reality, right? This is probably the happiest I've ever been. And I'm not saying I want to stay in this situation, and hell no, I'm not. Let's just get that out of the way. But what I mean is, because I made the choice to live life how I want to live. Of course, I'm being guided on a certain path, but I'm saying, I'm trusting myself and trusting that all is going to work out. I know that. And I made the choice to remove myself from people who choose to stay in a negative space. I chose faith and peace over fear. And there was a lot of things that I was able to, a lot of different parts of my life that I was able to look at differently now, because I don't have all the noise. Like, even my old house that I was living in and dealing with the back and forth and with the landlord and in court with the eviction, which thankfully I don't have one on my record, because I end up just saying I decided to leave. But, just all the negative energy in that house, I feel at peace. And I'm able to not only look at certain life experiences differently, but I was able to process things that I was still holding on to, that I didn't even realize I was still holding on to. Like, we feel like, yeah, we come here and we have past life, things we hold on from our past life, ancestral trauma, all these other things, and then what we picked up along the way in this life. You never really know how much you're holding until you get to certain thresholds. You know, like, I also had a near-death experience. I was shot 3 times back in September 9th, 2020. And, they say people who have near-death experiences are different people. Like, it could go either way. It really just depends on how you look at life. Like, you can either live in fear that something is going to happen to you again, but usually when you have people who have a near-death experience, or I'm not going to say usually, I'm going to say from the people that I've seen talk about near-death experiences, they find a new sense of life. They find a new sense of living. It's just like when you reach a certain threshold of pain, like that heartbreak from your favorite person, or the betrayal from your favorite family member. It just completely changes your mind, right? And we usually change where we just like, fuck that. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not dealing with this. That's not the point. We're supposed to feel our way through life and experience life. So basically, the point of this video is not only being vulnerable about my current situation, but if you're also in this current situation, sit with yourself. Look at it as an adventure. Like, okay, where am I going next? What door is this going to open for me? What else can I figure out about myself in this time of, you can either use it as quiet time or chaos time. Everybody's displacement issues are a little bit different, but you just gotta change the way you're viewing it and change the way that you're experiencing it. Take time to dive in deep. Ask yourself questions, like, not the vague ones like, why am I here? Who I am? Like, those are important, but to know who you are, you have to filter through all the gunk that is underneath the surface to get those answers, to get that clarity. And that is about feeling your emotions, releasing them, and processing them. And taking small actions, small steps to change your situation. And how you change your situation, people automatically think, oh, you got to go get a job and you got to go make some money. We don't have to do that. A lot of people don't believe it because keeping that frequency of that high frequency, first of all, and that faith over fear, that's a different type of beast, and people be giving up before they can see their blessings, but it all starts with you, because like I said, we are the creator of our reality. How we feel, how we view the world, how we think is what shapes our reality. It shapes the things around us, and it brings the opportunity and people to us. And if you're not thinking positive thoughts, you're attracting negativity. That's another thing I want to talk about, and maybe I'll do a separate video. I just feel like people get so focused they focus so much upon giving their power away. You can acknowledge that there are people who are jealous of you. There are people who are here to stop you, like I've mentioned earlier in the video, that don't want to see you fulfill your purpose or want to see you shine, right? But we give too much power away to them by saying, oh yeah, I'm a return it to sender and stuff. Yeah, you should have protection and, protection walls up for yourself spiritually. But we get so caught up in, oh yeah, I gotta send this shit, or anything that goes bad in somebody's life, the first thing they be like is, oh, somebody's trying to throw work at me, or this person's throwing work at me. Why does it always gotta be some magic? I'm not saying that that's not true, but you can acknowledge that it's there and keep it pushing. A spell or anything in this life that's thrown at you, an obstacle, any type of thing that you experience only has power if you give it power. Hence, money. My camera cut off. Money had no value until we gave it value. So that's the same thing. I kind of lost my train of thought, but I just want to give you some words of encouragement. If you are struggling, I know everybody is struggling really bad with money and even mental health right now because of everything that's going on in the world. And if you're currently dealing with displacement of housing like I am, I just want to let you know that you're not a failure. You're not a bum. You are worthy and you will make it. You will be okay. Like, everything always works out. You know, it's only hard because we can't see the bigger picture of what God and our spirit team are orchestrating for us in the background. But just know that everything always works out. And everything happens for a reason too. It's like, well, why do I have to go through pain to get to where I need to be? Because again, like, it's about evolution. We know that certain pain, think about all the times that you felt pain, or like those big points in your life where it was so painful, whether it was inflicted by a person or a life event. And then remember what got you out of it, what it made you feel, and what you did to get yourself out of it. And then you looked at yourself like, wow, I was capable of doing that, right? Because your circumstances don't define who you are, and it has nothing to do with who you are as a person. It's about what you do with it and what you make of it. You're not a failure. You can work for yourself. You can have a business, you can have a job, you can have a family, you can have love, you can have whatever it is in this life that you want if you allow yourself to have it. Don't let your current situation and circumstances stop you from getting the things that you want, because this world has tricked you in believing that it is not obtainable unless you play the roles, because that shit is not true. Your spirit team, your ancestors, God, they're never going to leave you stranded. You're never alone. And they're never going to bring you to a place that you were never supposed to be at. Think of the detours as a game. And every time you have a detour and you're like, you know what, I'll keep playing along. But you add tax to that shit. You're like, okay, you're going to send me here. I'm going to go on this mission. Okay, I bet. Now, the money that I wanted, I need 2 times the amount. Make it fun. Where it's like, oh, there's another detour. Got to add another 100,000 to the bill. Because the universe is abundant, just like we are. There's no limits to shit. There's no caps on our blessings. There's no caps on abundance, joy, happiness. You just have to find it. And be honest with yourself. 2 things could be true at once. You could be grateful to have the things in your life, because we have to have gratitude to appreciate things. You know, you could appreciate the things in your life that you have already. And be appreciative for what is on its way to you. But also be honest with yourself. Allow yourself to feel those feelings. Like, a lot of the blockages also that we experience in life is because we're not allowing ourselves to feel and process the emotion. We're just shoving it down in hopes that, you know, if I just keep my head down and grind long enough, things are going to change. No, that is going to still continue to manifest in some point or all areas of your life until you deal with it. And when you store that trauma in your body, you know, like we think about it like a bag. We just take all of our problems, shove it in a bag, and throw it in the backseat like this. It's still there. It's not in your peripheral view, but it's still there. And at some point, you're going to have to deal with it. because you won't have a choice but to deal with it. Because the more you run away from it, the louder it becomes. If you're mad, scream that shit out, go to a smash room, break something, or channel it into art, or talk. Be vulnerable. The world lacks compassion, love, and vulnerability. It may feel uncomfortable because people are going to be like, oh, you're so weak. Our ancestors went through this. There's always going to be projection because not everybody has the same mindset. But they are not the in control. They are not the creator of your reality. You are. We can't control what people do. We can only focus on what we do. And what we do and what we choose to do, tolerate, not tolerate, is what shapes our reality. You are an amazing person. You have a purpose in this world. You belong in this world. You are worthy of being in this world, and you will have everything that you want in life. All of your needs will be met, and all of your desires will be met. Just hold your faith and stay true to who you are and follow your intuition. Everybody is going to feel like their way of thinking or their advice of what you should do next is going to be the best way. That's not true. Whatever you feel and your intuition is telling you, your gut, I'm pointing to my chest, but you know, it fluctuates through your chakras of your intuition. Yes, it's a gut feeling, but you know, that gut feeling will signal other parts of your body to get the feeling of what it is that you're supposed to do. Trust yourself. Follow your intuition. Don't listen to other people. You know the life that you want. You know where you're going, and you're going to get there. View life as a game. Have fun, and be grateful. And push the fucking limits. You could do anything that you want. Anything. Only thing that stops us from doing what we want is us. Is us. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I feel like the only reason why I end up having this transitional period, I feel like it was a part of the mission because I did have a vision about it, but I wasn't trying to manifest it. And I know I'm not going to be in this space for too long, but I got so caught up in the manifestation of what I wanted to look like as far as having, you know, a space where I could help people heal and stuff like that. But it's just like, okay, but what about now? And I think this was the thing that I was avoiding. Coming on camera, sharing my story, and being vulnerable. But I just did it. I did it. So if I could do it, you could do it too. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for coming to my video. I know it's kind of like all over the place. I'm probably going to do some more, talk about some other things, but I kind of just wanted to start with this and give you guys, you know, some hope. Like, you're not the only one out there going through it. And that doesn't mean, you know, yes, you could be grateful. And there's other things. And that's one more thing before we go. Just because there's people going through worse does not invalidate what you're going through as well. You can still have compassion and feel bad for what's going on in the world without it consuming you, and also acknowledging what you're going through as well. Feel through your emotions. Release what you don't need to hold on to so you can make space. Everything that you lose is just making space for better things. You're never losing. You're always gaining. So the more you tell yourself that, if something or someone leaves your life, redirection, protection, no, just think, wow, something better is about to come. Yeah, it's protection. It's all of it. However you want to think about it. Just know that it's for your benefit. It is for your gain. Every time. You never lose. You always win. Always win. Even when it hurts. Even when you don't understand it. Even when you don't want to. Even when you want to force it. Just flow. Let things happen the way they're supposed to happen. We get caught up in trying to figure out everything, and we rob ourselves of the experience. We're supposed to be in the present moment. My ear just started ringing, so yeah, I was definitely supposed to say that. But if you're new here, thank you for listening to my story. If you already been here, you know, still thank you for listening to my story. I hope this helped somebody today, and just know everything will be okay, and wishing positivity, abundance, joy, and fulfillment into your life. Have a nice day.